What's up, everyone? I hope everyone's week is going fantastic. I hope everyone's day is going well. Thank you so much for being here again with me today for another reading. So, today we are doing a reading for what do people assume about you based on your physical appearance. So, this was actually a requested reading, and I'm pretty excited for it. I don't usually do readings like this. I don't think that I've ever done a reading on this channel like this that focused around physical appearance in any way. I'm going to try and keep things as broadly applicable as possible without being overly vague. Um, I try to keep the readings as gender neutral as possible in general, so I'm going to try and do that with this one. We'll see what we get. I'm pretty excited to see what comes through. Anyway, well, we're going to have 4 piles today. Pile number 1 is going to be the Jack of Clubs. Pile number 2 is going to be the 4 of Diamonds. Pile number 3 is going to be the 4 of Clubs. And pile number 4 is going to be the 2 of Hearts. And for the collective, we've got the Jack of Diamonds. So the Jack of Diamonds is indicative of Knight of Pentacles energy. So we're looking at Virgo hardworking energy. The Knight of Pentacles is the hardest working of all of the knights, even if he is the slowest moving of all the knights. People can see that you guys are hard workers, and like this is more applicable to the way that you live your life, like the physical appearance of like how you actually live your life, than it is to like your actual physical appearance. But from the outside looking in, you guys are very, very hard workers collectively. It's a really awesome energy, actually, to get started with. People can tell that you guys work very hard at what you do. All right, and again for the piles, we've got pile number 1 with the Jack of Clubs, pile number 2 with the 4 of Diamonds, pile number 3 with the 4 of Clubs, and pile number 4 with the 2 of Hearts. All right. We started with pile number 1 and the Jack of Clubs. So the Jack of Clubs is indicative of Knight of Wands energy. So we're looking at very rambunctious, energetic. I'm getting almost like partier energy. I'm getting strong Jupiter vibes, actually. You come off as very happy-go-lucky. That's the phrase that comes to mind. Regardless of how you physically appear, like the details of your physical appearance, there's something very bright about you guys. You very much shine from the inside out. You are an incredibly hard person to miss. When you walk into a room, people notice you. Whether you're trying to keep it low-key or not, I'm getting. There's something very... You come off as someone very, very bright, very happy. You likely have a very nice smile. I'm getting some of you have really nice teeth. If you've been having issues with your teeth lately, or if you've been having like insecurities about how your teeth look, don't be worried about it. You have a really nice smile. Yeah, I'm getting charming. The word charming is coming to mind. People can be very starstruck by you, I'm getting. This is very spotlight energy in a couple different ways. When you enter a room, there's very much a natural spotlight on you. It comes from this inner glow that you have. You are just radiant from the outside, from the inside out, you know what I mean? But another spotlight energy is the fact that you make people feel like they are under a spotlight. You make people feel like they themselves are in a spotlight. It's very starry-eyed energy is what I'm getting. You make people feel very much rejuvenated and seen. Special. The word special comes to mind. When you give people your one-on-one attention, you make them feel very special. They feel very graced to have it. There's also very much playboy, playgirl energy coming through, regardless of how you identify. There is quite a bit of sex appeal coming through here. There's no other way to phrase that and no other way to put it. There's quite a bit of sex appeal coming through here. To the point where from the outside looking in, people kind of just assume that you are a player, that you are impossible to cuff down, regardless of how you yourself see yourself, regardless of how you operate in your own relationships. You know what I mean? The assumption from the outside looking in, from people who do not know you and don't see how you operate in your life day to day, is that you'd be a player, because why wouldn't you be? Lots of sex appeal, very fiery energy, very fiery energy. Warm. You make people feel warm, noticed, seen. Sagittarius rules traditionally the 9th house, the house of travel. You are a very understanding person and an incredibly non-judgmental person. You make people feel like they're at home. They feel very comfortable around you. Very much welcoming party energy. You seem very well-traveled as well, regardless of even if you have or not, like if you have been anywhere outside of your hometown or not. Like, you come off as someone very worldly. From the outside looking in, people assume that you have a lot of experience in life. You hold yourself like a very mature person. People assume that you are a very mature person. You might be someone who has heard throughout your life that you are an old soul, or that you've had to grow up very young. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based off your physical appearance? Some of you might be very good with animals. I'm getting very good with, like, animals and children. You seem very kind-hearted, is what it is. You seem to have a very kind heart. It's how you move your way through life. That it's less about your physical appearance in that sense and more about how you physically move your way through life. Like, how people watch you move your way through life. You're a very kind person. You also come off as a very trustworthy person. All right. Yeah, you make people feel at home. You might have been, when you were younger, you might have been the kid that, like, welcomed in the new kids, made friends with people first when they first came into the classes and stuff like that. You make people feel like they're at home. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based off your physical appearance? Playboy, playgirl energy keeps coming up. Completely isolated from how you usually live your life. Like, just people who walk by you on the street and see you and catch sight of you, they assume that you've got people lined up waiting for you romantically. What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? Some of you have very nice hair. Regardless, all of you look like you take very good care of yourself. From the outside looking in, people assume that you take really good care of yourself. And we've got the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands is very rejuvenative, youthful energy. If you have been feeling tired lately, or if you've been feeling like you're looking a little bit older recently, that is definitely not the case. You've been a little bit too hard on yourself, or you've been looking too hard in the mirror. You look very good, especially if you've been feeling older again. You look incredibly good for your age. You're looking very young. You're looking very youthful. You've got that youthful glow about you. I'm seeing the sun card specifically, that strong Leo energy, fifth house energy. You've got that youthful glow about you. And people assume that you are a lot younger than you actually are, I'm getting, just with how you move your way through life and how you look, how you physically appear. Like, you look a lot younger than you actually are. And we've got the Ten of Wands in reverse. You're a hard worker. This doubles down on the energy that we got for the collective with that Knight of Pentacles energy. The Ten of Wands is the card of burden. In reverse, it's even double that. You are an incredibly hard worker. And I'm getting that from the outside looking in, you make it look really easy. Like, as people get to know you, they can be very floored at how hard you work and how much you have going on at any given point of any given day. You've got a lot going on and you have a lot of responsibilities, I'm getting, on your shoulders, and you make it look really easy. You make it look like you're juggling things very easily, like you've got things under control. I'm seeing someone who laughs regardless of what they're going through in life. You just always seem to have such a fun, upbeat personality, such a fun, upbeat energy going on. It can be distracting for people, I'm getting, even like people, even people who know that you have all of this responsibility, that you have all of this stuff going on. Like, it can be so easy for them to forget that you have all of this stuff going on because you keep such a good upbeat personality. You keep such a good upbeat outlook going on, you know what I mean? And we've got the Knight of Swords. You're very good with your energy. This is also the third knight to come up related to your pile. The Knight of Pentacles was the collective energy. Your pile card was the Knight of Wands. And now we're looking at the Knight of Swords. You look very athletic. Even if you wouldn't consider yourself to be athletic, even if you wouldn't consider yourself to have anything to do with athleticism, you look like you are in shape. Regardless of how you wear your body, you look very healthy. It comes along with that same, like, you look like you take care of yourself. You look like you're clean. You look like you're well groomed. You look like you keep yourself in good health and you take very good care of yourself from the outside looking in. The Knight of Swords is also indicative of being very charming. This is Gemini energy. We're looking at very charming energy. To the point even I'm getting that people can, like, more jaded or bitter people can be a little bit suspicious of what you might have going on behind the scenes. Because you just come off as someone so bright and sunny. And I'm getting that there are people who genuinely believe that no one is as kind as you are. No one is as friendly as you are without reason. There's no person alive who is as forthcoming as you are without having some kind of agenda going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting that it can be difficult sometimes for people to get to know you because, what it is a lot of projection. Like, it's a lot of projection for a lot of these people, not even just projection of themselves. It's projection of people that they've met in their past, people who have hurt them before, you know what I mean? You likely are someone who attracts, you may have noticed that you attract people who have been really hurt in the past or who have, like, really deep emotional wounds that they're still healing. Your sunshine is really necessary for that kind of thing. What I'm getting in fact is, like, warmth burning off like maggots in a wound. You know what I mean? Like, warmth, heat, fire, burning off like maggots in a wound and cauterizing it. You know what I mean? Your brightness is necessary for these kinds of people's healing, but it can be very overwhelming, especially when they're first getting to know you, I'm getting. You have a very nice smile. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that yet or not, but you have a very nice smile. Yeah, and we've got the Five of Cups. You help people move forward. It's likely that you yourself have been through quite a bit in your life, and you don't show it. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, even if you yourself are open about the things that you've gone through in your life, even if if you share your stories online or out in your community or anything like that, you still don't show the hurt that you've gone through in your life. It doesn't come through in how you behave and how you act. You don't take out the hurt that people have given you on anyone else. And I'm getting, especially as people get to know you, especially the people that we were talking about before who might be a little bit suspicious initially and have a hard time like getting to trust you, it can be overwhelming finding out just how much you've gone through for them, because you didn't come out paranoid openly about other people. Like you don't take it out on the people around you. You're very emotionally regulated, whether you feel that way or not. You come off as someone who is very well emotionally adjusted. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles, more hard work energy. You're a very hard worker. You're a really hard worker, and I'm getting that you are, what's the word? You're a very smart worker too. Very much work smart, not hard energy here. Though I'm getting that you are likely willing to do both. Again, the Ten of Wands coming through. You're very likely willing to do both. But you're a very clever person. People like watching you work, is what it is. This work energy keeps coming up because people enjoy watching you work. You're very smart and you're very innovative in how you do things. Strong Aquarius energy going on right there. Very outside of the box thinker. People like seeing what you have, what solutions you come up with, and what you have going on when you're problem solving. And we've got the Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck. You are very emotionally stable and very mentally stable too. You're a really well-adjusted person. If you've been feeling really emotionally strained lately, or if you've been feeling really worn out lately, one, don't be afraid to take time to yourself. That's a message that likely at least one person needs to hear. Don't be afraid to take time to yourself. But two, know that you haven't been, no one can tell. No one can ever tell. Like, you wear your stresses incredibly well. And again, you don't take anything out on the people around you. A very rare, I'm rare, to be honest, trait. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? At the risk of a warning for rather mature thoughts going forward, but two separate things. One, people assume that you are good in bed. There's no other way to put that. People assume, especially when people are having certain fantasies about things, people assume that you're very good in bed. Secondly, regardless of how you identify, there's a certain amount of Dom energy that comes off of you. You bring out a certain amount of, and a certain type of submissiveness in the people around you, I'm getting, especially the people who are sexually attracted to you. For some of you, you might be very tall and like bigger, like just like bigger. You might find yourself to be bigger. If that's the case, know that you wear your body very well. People are very attracted to that. If that's not the case though, you just have really big energy. Like, this is the kind of energy that like fills a room and fills a space. Again, you bring out a certain amount of, and a very specific type of submissiveness in a lot of the people around you, I'm getting. And in others, they see it as a challenge, I'm getting. And we've got Crane, loyal, ritualistic, and nurturing. I'm getting loyal most specifically out of there. And ritualistic, actually. Cranes are known for doing mating dances. Some of you are likely very good at dancing. even if you are not a good dancer, however, from the outside looking in, people really like watching how you move your way through life. This means literally and figuratively. Like, the way that you actually move, you have like a lot amount of grace. People enjoy watching how you move your body. If you are someone who spends a lot of time in the gym, it's likely that people like to watch you work out. If you are someone who posts pictures of yourself working out or from the gym, know that people are super into that. People really like that. People are very into the workout pictures. All right, and we've got Mina Bird, intelligent, chatty, and popular. Popular standing out the most there. People definitely see you as I'm getting popular loner. This is the energy of being really hard to get to know intimately. Like, very much an easy person to get to know on a surface level, but you're very picky about the people who you let any deeper than surface level. And there are a lot of people who want to know you on a deeper level than surface level in a lot of different ways. I'm getting that you have really addictive energy, though. Even people who start off as just being attracted to you in a physical sense, it doesn't stay that way for very long. It's really easy for people to get really caught up in your energy, is what I'm getting. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you? And we've got panda bears, charming, cute, and laid back. Charming popping out there again. I think I mentioned charming with the Knight of Swords Gemini energy. You are very charming. And very charming in a way, like, if you post online, people really like what you put online. There are definitely people who are watching what you put online. I'm seeing, like, videos of panda bears doing viral things in my head. Like, if you post online regularly, know there are a lot of people who are super into the stuff that you put online. And Kieran, lucky charm, mystically powerful, unusually intuitive, and intelligent. So that's the second intelligent to pop out right then. You are very clever. I think I mentioned that earlier, though, with that Aquarian clever energy with how you work. Like, people really like watching how you problem solve, and they really like watching how you move your way through life. Like, you are a much more impressive person than you realize. Kirin are also mythical beings that are known to be like incredibly good fortune. People likely notice you. People have likely noticed that when they're around you, their fortune goes up. When you're involved in their life, when you're supporting them, they have better luck. Like, you act as like a good luck charm. I'm getting very much Lady Luck vibes, regardless of how you identify. All right. And we've got the crane popping out again. Again, loyal, ritualistic. And again with the dancing. I'm seeing cranes dancing in my head. Some of you are very good dancers. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? What do people assume about you based on your physical appearance? And we've got the jellyfish. Go with the flow, otherworldly, and intuitive. So that's the second intuitive to pop out, I think. At least the second intuitive to pop out. And there's a certain amount of intuition that comes with the Two of Swords card as well. You seem to live your life very free-flowing. Like, people... I'm getting that there are a lot of people who are very envious of the way that you move through life because it seems like you just know where to go. You seem to have very divine orientation with how you move, and it's very purposeful. You seem to move in a very purposeful manner. Even when it's confusing to other people, I'm getting. Even when other people don't quite understand what you're doing, you always seem to know what you've got going on. It always seems to work out at the end of the day, regardless of whether or not you even explain anything to anyone else. There are a lot of people who are very envious about that. And we've got the orca. Team player, popular, unusually intelligent. That is the like third intelligent. In fact, I think it's the second unusually intelligent. In fact, you are very, very clever. And not just clever, you're clever on top of having massive amounts of physical and sexual appeal, and it's off putting for some people. I'm getting it can be really off putting for some people. And we've got the rabbit, beautiful, wonderful homemaker, great style. Now, beautiful standing out most there. Again, we were just talking about how you are very much physically and sexually attractive to damn near everyone around you, but also great style. Regardless of what your style is, it's very eye-catching. I'm getting like you pull in a lot of attention and a lot of notice without even trying, like 100% of the time. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much again for being here again with me today. I really appreciate you all being here and giving your energy to the readings. I hope it was fun. I hope it was entertaining. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and we're on pile number 2 with the 4 of Diamonds. Now, the 4 of Diamonds is indicative of 4 of Pentacles energy. Already, we're getting very strong 4th house energy. We're looking at very homey energy. You make people feel very comforted. I'm getting for some of you, you have a more like traditional leaning feminine style, regardless of how you identify. If that's the case, there you wear it very well. Like people really like the style that you have. People really like how you dress and how you can pull it off. You can pull off your style very well. Separately from that, however, there's something almost motherly about your energy. Like regardless of how you identify, there's something very nurturing about the way that you move through life. And this is more specifically about how you move through life like the physical appearance of you moving through life, as opposed to like your actual physical appearance personally. You move through the world with a definitive level of kindness and gentleness and how you interact with the people in the world around you. And it's very comforting. I'm getting that you draw in people who need that kind of warmth and need that kind of like light in their life. Yeah, we've got the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. People who have been really hurt, have gone through like really intense heartbreak, have been stabbed in the back. People who really need a kind person to help them back onto their feet, and to remind them that the world isn't as dark as it can seem sometimes. You may have noticed that you kind of attract people, or you might enter people's lives at points when they really need healing energy, like when they're at really low points in their life, or when they're really starting to question what they're doing, or the people around them even. Like you show up in their lives at really crucial times, and your healing energy is really profoundly needed for them at those times in their life. Very divinely oriented. You seem to be very divinely guided. Yeah, we've got the 10 of Cups popping out right there. You bring family energy with you. This is strong Cancer vibes. Very strong mothering energy, regardless of how you identify. You make people feel at home. You make people feel comforted. You make people feel welcomed. If you live alone, or even if it's just like your room, the space that you would call your own, like your most personal space, people feel really honored to be let into that space. Like if you would consider that like your whole apartment or your whole house, when you let people into your house, they're really honored by the fact that you're allowing them into like your personal space. And you have really great style. Regardless of what that style is, you have very great style. And you pull it off very well, both your like dress sense and your like aesthetic sense for the world around you. Yeah, you definitely come off as someone who's more on the cutting edge of style, whether you see yourself that way or not. You wear the looks that you wear very well. You definitely get more attention than you realize. This energy feels very private too. Like you're not looking for attention, I'm getting. Or at least from the outside looking in, it doesn't appear like you're looking for attention. It just kind of comes to you very naturally. People can't help but be very drawn into you. Again, you tend to be placed in people's lives at very divinely oriented times where your healing energy is very much needed. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you? What do people assume about you from the outside looking in? What do people assume about you based on your physical appearance? You have very kind smiles. And it is very specifically kind. Like, you make people feel almost disarmed when you smile at them or when you give them any one-on-one attention. You might find that people give you really intense eye contact. Know that for the most part, that likely isn't something that these people do for just anyone. Like, there's something very magnetic and drawing about you. I'm getting almost like hypnotic about you. And it can draw people in very intensely, especially on a one-on-one basis. People want to be involved with you very intimately, and like not just like physically intimately, but like emotionally intimately, spiritually intimately. Like, people really want to get to know you. I'm getting, they want to be a part of your family, whatever that means for them in their specific situation. You may find that you attract people who really need a found family, regardless of like how they fit into that found family. You know what I mean? Lost souls. Lost boys. The lost boys from Peter Pan actually come to mind. The lost boys from Peter Pan come to mind, and actually so does the fact that Peter grabbed Wendy specifically so she could be a mother to the lost boys. Again, you give off these very motherly vibes regardless of how you identify. It's just that you're very caring, the way that you behave. Peter picked her because of how she was mothering her brothers, you know what I mean? Like, the way that you behave, the way that you hold yourself, it's incredibly nurturing. It's very warm. Getting like warm feelings, like a warm blanket. I think the sun even came out a little bit more when I said that. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your appearance? What do people assume about you based on your physical appearance? Regardless of your financial state or what you would consider your financial state to be, you come off as someone very, not necessarily like extravagantly wealthy, but people would assume that you're someone rather well off, at least comfortable. Like, the word comfortable comes to mind. Traditionally, the Four of Pentacles is the card of the safe and secure home. There's a sense here that people assume that you're really good with your money. Like, I'm getting like second house energy almost. Like, you're good with your finances. People assume that you're mature and responsible. Like, you just come off as someone who is responsible. So people assume that you'd be really good with your finances. And I'm getting, regardless of what your financial situation is, you likely are very good with your finances, especially, in fact, if you don't have a lot of finances to work with. There's a sense here that you make what you have work so well that no one could tell that you're in any kind of like strained financial state. You're also, again, I think I might have mentioned Six of Pentacles energy here. That charitable energy comes up again. Like, the way that you move through the world, you also don't act like you are in, like, you don't, what's the best way to put this? You are willing to give. If you have anything to give, you will give it. You're not selfish. And there's a sense here that some of you might believe in things like tipping karma, or like just karma in general, like what you give out into the world will come back to you tenfold, you know what I mean? Like either way, the way that you move through life, you're not stingy with your attention, with your finances, with your materials when you're dealing with other people. You don't make people feel bad for it, or for their needing for your help, or for their needing help, you know what I mean? You don't stress that it might be putting you out. Like, you're very giving and you're very generous, and you give from the bottom of your heart in a very genuine way. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? You're a lot more popular than you realize, and especially if this might surprise you, especially if you're someone who would identify with not having been very popular throughout your life, especially your formative years, you know what I mean? From the outside looking in, people assume that you've been very popular your whole life, that you have been very well loved and very well liked your entire life. If that comes as a shock to you, know that it's because you are so loving and kind. It's hard for people to believe that anyone would be cruel to you or not want to be close to you. You know what I mean? Like the normal on the normal person on average would really love to be your friend and really love to get close to you. So I'm getting that it can be kind of surprising to people that people would like screw that kind of thing up. All right. What more can we know, please? What people assume about you based on your physical appearance. All right. And we've got the Strength card. Yeah, you're a very strong person. You've been through it, I'm getting, and you've come out on the other side still an incredible person. And people can you give off a certain level of strength. It's comforting. It's a level of like comforting strength. People feel like they can rely on you. As they get to know you, however, people realize just how deep that strength goes. You're a very strong person down to your core. And it comes from going through quite a bit in your lifetime, I'm getting, and coming out on the other side better, faster, stronger. You're a very impressive person, is what it is. As people get to know you, they only get to respect you more and more, finding out more about you. You're an impressive person on the surface, but the deeper people get to know you, the more impressive you become. And we've got the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords next to the Strength card very much comes through as the fact that you are a very protective person. We're getting Mama Bear energy here, like Bear from the Lenormand deck here. You come off as someone who would throw down for the people that you care about. Again, you make people feel protected. You make people feel comforted. If they're within your inner circle, if they're within your intimate group, they feel like you would do anything for them, and it's likely because you genuinely would do anything for them. Again, you're a very loving person. I'm getting you'd stare down wild beasts for the people that you care about. You would give them the shirt off your back if that's what they needed in the moment, and that's what you had to offer. The Ace of Swords also indicates that you're very good with your words, and I'm getting here that it's that you know what to say, especially when people are hurting. Again, you likely have noticed that you draw in people who are really in need of a healing touch and a healing energy. And you know what to say to these people. You know what to say to people to get them back on their feet. You know what to say to people to be encouraging and supportive. And you come through as being genuine and authentic when you do. Like, you're not just blowing smoke up people's asses, you know what I mean? Like, you're actively putting thought into the words that you say, and you're trying your best to be as supportive as humanly possible, even if that support feels like it can be over the top. I'm getting it's all still very genuine. You still mean every word that you say. You care about the people who are close to you, and I'm getting that, like, in general, you also just care about people. Like, you would be supportive to someone who needed the support, just because that is your way, that is how you move through the world, you know what I mean? People admire that about you quite a bit. There are a lot of people who wish that they could speak the way that you speak and knew what to say the way that you know what to say. And we've got the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Swords to the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Swords is the card of speech, and the Ace of Wands is the spark of motion. You know what I mean? You don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. You know what to say and you know what to do as well. You're a very nurturing soul and a very kind spirit. And you, again, you live out the principles that you seem to aspire to. You know what I mean? Especially if you are open about your worldviews, either online, within your community, just like out in general, you know what I mean? People are constantly very impressed by the fact that you don't just talk the talk, you actively live the way that you encourage other people to live. You also come off as someone rather magical. um, from the outside looking in, especially, I'm getting that, like, it can be you've convinced people that manifestation and things like that are real. Like, people who have been skeptical about that kind of thing before, you've definitely worked to convince people like that manifestation and those kinds of spiritual beliefs are real to some extent. I'm getting even like karma. Like, people there are people who have started to believe in things like karma specifically because they've watched you be a very good person, and they've watched you expand, and they've watched that kind of goodness come back to you, you know what I mean? And more so than just watching it come back to you, they've realized that they want that goodness to come back to you. Like, they're rooting for you, they're hoping that good things come to you because you're a good person at your core, and you genuinely live that and you show that every day. And we've got the Magician. Again, magic. And that's also the third one in a row. You are a very unique person. I'm getting, for a lot of you, this is your style, like your dress and the way that you style yourself is highly unique. But even past that, like, just to your core, you're a very unique person, definitely one in a million. No one can ever find someone like you. And I'm getting that there are people who will spend the rest of their lives looking for you and other people. It's actually a little bit sad. Like, what's coming through very strongly is that there are people right now who are very strongly missing you. If you've been feeling like a pull towards people that you haven't thought about in a really long time, it's likely that other people might be manifesting you without even realizing it, or maybe doing it and realizing it. Like, there are definitely people who are thinking about you because they miss your energy and they miss your presence in their life. You leave a hole in people's lives when you leave. And from the outside looking in, I'm getting that there are people who, like, genuinely feel bad for the people who you leave behind, not because they don't deserve it, but because they're clearly decimated and you aren't. Like, and we've got the Three of Cups. Yeah, they're clearly decimated and you aren't, because you are, even if you wouldn't consider yourself to be very popular, you you have so much love to give. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much an ace of cups, like, love overflowing thing. Like, you have so much love to give. From the outside looking in, you seem to have so much love to give. One person hurting you has never been enough to turn you into someone who doesn't constantly overflow with love. It is profoundly encouraging, actually. I'm getting that you've rejuvenated people, and you've rejuvenated many more people than you realize by encouraging them to move past their own hurt and to continue growing despite things that may have happened to them in the past. Very much the energy of, if you can do it, then they can get on their feet and do it too. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, you're a hard worker. If you can do it, then they can get on their feet and do it too. You make what you do look very easy. That Magician energy, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords energy. You make what you do look very easy. But the more people get to know you, the more they realize that it's very hard work living the kind of life that you live. And I'm just being you. Again, you're an incredibly unique energy. And I'm getting that it can be a very difficult... It can be hard standing out sometimes. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you? And we've got the Penguin. Cute and playful, loving and loyal. Yep, people... And what stands out the most there is loyal. People really love... People love being in your inner circle. You're very loyal to the people who you care about. I think we've gone over this already even. Like, you will give people the shirt off your back if they need it and there's someone who you care about. But again, I feel like you have very humanitarian vibes. Like, I feel like it doesn't... Being a person in the world who needs help is more than enough for you to lend out a hand to help people. And we've got Hammerhead Sharks, unique, talented, and adaptable. So unique stands out the most there, obviously, but talented also stands out. Again, you're very good at what you do, and you make everything that you do, from the skills that you have to just being you, you make it all look very easy, despite the fact that I'm getting that it genuinely is not. And we've got the Flamingo, well-balanced, unorthodox, extremely durable. So unorthodox actually sticks out the most there. Unique. You just stand out. You're very unique in the way that you live and in the way that you... and in the energy that you give out to the world. We've got the Falcon, loyal, collaborative, and intelligent. So loyal stands out the most there again, but also collaborative. You're very much a team player. Despite the fact that you are such a unique person, like, regardless of what team you're on, you're always going to stand out. Regardless of what room you're in, you are always going to stand out. People are always, their eyes are always going to be drawn to you. There's just no helping that. But it doesn't change the fact that you're very much a team player. That Three of Cups energy, you're very much willing to give your all to help your friends and to help the people that you care about. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? And we've got the Snake. Sensual and seductive, exotically beautiful, misunderstood. So sensual and seductive stand out there. There are definitely people who are extremely attracted to you. And I'm getting that it's more than just a physical attraction. Like, there are people who want to build whole homes with you. We're getting that Four of Pentacles energy again, right? Like, people who can see themselves manifesting entire lives and futures with you. And we've got the Centaur, highly intelligent and insightful, healing and mystical, hard to know and harder to bother. And so hard to know and harder to bother stands out the most there. Actually, everything does, to a certain extent. Everything does. But hard to know and harder to bother, for some reason, stands out the most from this card. You come off from the outside looking in as someone who is genuinely just so untouchable. Someone with so much, like, internal power. Mystical, the Magician energy. Right. One more card. What more can we know, please, about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance. And we've got the Myna bird, intelligent, chatty, and popular. So popular stands out the most there, but so does intelligent. Intelligence come out like 3 times, I think, with these cards. You're very smart. And I'm getting that you're much smarter than people assume you'll be upon meeting you. Not for any reason other than the fact that you're very humble. You're not like, you don't show off the things that you know, and you don't demand attention or any level of respect even for the fact that you can very often be the smartest person in a room. And we've got the turtle, wise, easily contented, and well-loved. Well-loved, of course, but like wise and easily contented both wrap up exactly what we were just saying. Like, you're easily contented. You don't need that level of attention. You don't need that level of validation, but you are incredibly wise. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much again for being here. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, and we're on pile number 3 with the 4 of clubs. Now, the 4 of clubs is indicative of 4 of wands energy. Traditionally, the 4 of wands is the honeymoon card. This is very strong love at first sight energy. People from the outside looking in assume that you are the ideal partner and the ideal mate. I'm getting very loyal. You come off as someone extremely loyal. People want to cuff you up. Like, if you've been feeling lacking in the romantic department lately, trust that energy is coming through very strongly right now. There are definitely people who want to cuff you up. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know? What do people assume about you based on your physical appearance? I'm getting almost like 5 of wands energy, like competition energy. People assume that you have a lot of romantic options. Like, people assume that there will be competition for them if they approach you romantically. If you've been going through a period of your life where like people haven't really been reaching out to you, or if you've been single for a really long time, trust that there are definitely people who would like to approach you and just do not know how, is what I'm getting. No one wants to be rejected. And I'm getting, especially for people who aren't sure if you have a partner or not, it's hard for anyone to believe that you would be single. Like, again, you come off very much as like the ideal partner. It's hard for anyone to believe that you wouldn't have a partner already. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? So from the outside looking in, and this has nothing to do with how you behave, how you act, nothing like that. Just from the outside looking in, from your appearance, there are many people who would assume that you have a sugar baby situation going on. Like, regardless of how you identify, it's easy for people to believe that you would have someone to take care of you financially, basically. You look very high value. And again, it has nothing to do with how you like live your life. It has nothing to do with who you are. Like, again, like the 8 of Pentacles is coming out. You're a very strong worker. When people get to know you, they realize that you're a very hard worker. And also, there's nothing wrong with being a sugar baby. Like, but just from the outside looking in, there are definitely people who would assume that you have a romantic situation where you are set up with someone to take care of you, because you come off as the ideal mate. Like, you come off as the ideal partner. Why wouldn't someone want to take care of you? All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? Some of you have very nice hair. I'm getting some of you have like really long, dark hair. It's very nice. Regardless of how your hair looks, though, it's very nice. You have very nice hair. And we've got the 10 of Wands. Again, coming through, you're a very hard worker. When people get to know you, they realize that you are an incredibly hard worker. And I'm getting not just a hard worker, but you're a really responsible person. Like, you're willing to take a lot of stress onto your own shoulders to alleviate the stress for the people around you. Very much a team player. This comes through as like strong natural leader energy, not even because you're trying to be a leader, but because you look out for the people around you almost naturally. Like, it comes as second nature for you to make sure that the people around you are safe and well cared for, and that you're helping them as much as possible. It's very paternalistic energy, regardless of how you identify. There's something very strong about this energy. Like, you could lift the world on your shoulders to help the people who you care about. And the people who you care about look at you as someone who could do that. Like, the people around you see a lot of strength in you, and they recognize a lot of strength in you. The people close to you there are people who are close to you who admire the strength that you have and the way that you live your life a lot. We've got the Queen of Swords. Yeah, the Queen of Swords is the most judicious of all the queens, right? And the most straightforward of all the queens. You rule your kingdom very fairly. You come off as someone who has very good judgment, and you're really fair with the way that you deal with the people around you. I'm getting that you're really forgiving. Like, if people are willing to be honest with you, and if people are willing to be straightforward with you, you'll give anyone a second, third, probably fourth chance even. Like, you're a very forgiving person. You're very fair in the way that you deal with people. I'm getting strong justice vibes here, justice energy. You want to believe that you want to see the good in people. You want to believe in the best in people. I'm getting that it can bring out the best in people. Like, just your faith in them can encourage people to do better and be better. Again, it's very paternalistic energy. It's very much the sense that, like, there are people around you who you're raising indirectly just because they want to make you proud. You encourage them to do better and be better. You lead by example, and they want to be more like you. And more importantly, they want to make you proud in the process. People from the outside looking in definitely see you as a strong leader. Yep, and we've got the Three of Pentacles. The way that the people are looking up at the Three Pentacles that the Carpenter has made, there are a lot of people who look up to you. You make people curious. From the outside looking in, there are a lot of people who are extremely curious about you. They see the way that you interact with people, and more importantly, they see how much people love you. There's so much love directed at you and so much support directed at you. People genuinely want to see you succeed, and they genuinely support. There are people who genuinely support the progress that you've made and are really happy to see you succeeding and thriving. And it makes the people around them curious about you. Like, people want to know more about you. People want to know why the people around you support you so much, or how even the people around you support you so much. You're also very talented. You're an incredibly talented person. Regardless of where that talent is angled, you're very good at what you put your energy most into. Especially if you are an artist and you make art as a career, or you make art for money. There are a lot of people who look up to the work that you do and take, like, I'm getting almost like taking notes on how you do things. People definitely admire the way that you work. and the work that you produce. If you are a parent, you are a very good parent. From the outside looking in, people really admire your parenting skills. They think that you're a really good parent. This also applies if you are a pet owner. If you are someone who has like a dog, cat, any kind of pet, people find you to be a really good pet owner. You're really responsible. You come off as someone extremely responsible. People find you to be very trustworthy. You come off as a very trustworthy person. And you show up as a very trustworthy person. You aren't just the facade. You are genuinely a very trustworthy and loyal person. And we've got the Tower energy. Now, the Tower energy, especially in regards to physical appearance, speaks of ground-shattering attraction. When you walk into a room, and we started this reading off with love at first sight energy. When you walk into a room, there are people who are straight up struck by lightning when they make eye contact with you. There are people who you might not even remember their names anymore. I'm getting even like for some people like one night stands, like people who will literally never forget you. You have changed how they view a couple things in life, particularly sexual things. There's no other way to put it. Like, particularly if you've had like intimate encounters with these people physically, trust no one forgets that about you. You are very well remembered in that regard. From the outside looking in, people assume that you would be very good at physical intercourse. People assume you'd be really good in bed. You are a highly attractive person. There's a lot of sex appeal going on here with that Tower energy. Again, whether you realize it or not, there are definitely people who you have impacted dramatically who will never forget the encounters that they've had with you. And there are people from the outside looking in often, I'm getting, who would very much like a chance to get those kind of encounters with you. And we've got the Seven of Cups. You seem to have the world at your fingertips. And I'm getting that it's not so much what you have, it's the way that you present yourself and the way that you put your best foot forward. Like, from the outside looking in, you seem to have everything together. You know what I mean? Like, people really admire you. You seem to be the total package. You've got all of this talent. You're an incredibly nurturing person. And on top of that, you've got like this earth-shattering appeal to you. Like this incredible magnetism to you. You know what I mean? You seem to have the world at your fingertips. From the outside looking in, people assume that you have everything available to you, whether that's the case or not. Again, I'm getting that with that Ten of Wands energy at the very beginning. You're a very hard worker. You take on a lot of responsibility. If you do have the world at your fingertips, it's because you made sure to put the world at your fingertips. You know what I mean? But from the outside looking in, regardless of what your situation is, people assume that you have a lot of options. I'm getting specifically romantic options. People definitely assume that you have romantic options, especially. But it's not limited to romantic options. I'm also getting like job options, like career options especially. Like you feel, people from the outside looking in feel like you have so many different paths to choose from. There's definitely a sense here that you might deal with a certain level of like envy or jealousy from people who don't even know you. Like people who can only see from the outside looking in. And we've got the Four of Swords. You make it all look really easy. Like again, all of the work that you do, all of the effort that you put in, all of the weight that you shoulder, like you make it all look incredibly easy. At the end of the day, what people see is the result. They don't see any of the work that goes into it. They don't see any of the profound effort that you have to put in. What they see at the end is the result, and you make it all look so damn easy throughout the whole process. I'm getting that it can be kind of frustrating for people. It what it is that it can trigger people. It can trigger people who harbor, again, a certain level of envy or jealousy towards you to begin with. And we've got the flamingo, well balanced, unorthodox, extremely durable. So extremely durable stands out there. You've got thick skin. From the outside looking in, you seem very untouchable. Like, it's possible, I'm getting Five of Wands energy again. It's possible that you work or are involved in a very competitive field. Even if that's not the case, though, it's likely that competition just kind of follows you around. Know that there are always people rooting for you. Even people who, like, aren't necessarily, like, people just trust that you'll win. Like, and frankly, when you're in competitions that are totally one-sided like that, you've already won by virtue of not even wanting to compete. But the fact that it's coming through means that it's obvious to people from, like, the outside looking in that there are people who feel very competitively towards you and you don't even acknowledge them, basically, with that Four of Swords energy. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know? And we've got the panda bears. Charming, cute, and laid back. Yeah, I'm getting laid back. You make it all seem very easy. You make it all seem like the death card popping out right there. You make all of the things that you go through seem so easy. All of the transformations, all of the work that you put in, you make it all look like you're not even trying. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that for the most part, people don't want to compete with you. You might attract competition from some people who harbor a certain amount of envy towards you, but, like, for the most part, on regular, people don't want to compete with you. They're afraid of losing. And we've got the cheetah, quick thinker, surprisingly friendly, exotically beautiful. So exotically beautiful coming out to match the tower energy there. Again, regardless of what kind of beauty you would identify with, that beauty is one of a kind, remarkable. It is earth-shattering for many, many people, but also surprisingly friendly. When people get to know you, they're surprised at how welcoming you are, I'm getting. You just have so much going on for you. Like, and we've got the crane, loyal, ritualistic, and nurturing. Yeah, nurturing I'm getting, and loyal. People are surprised at how, like, nurturing and kind you are, I'm getting. You have a lot going on for you. And I'm getting that it can be really easy for people, especially before they know you, to put you on, like, a bit of a pedestal. And we've got the minor bird, intelligent, chatty, and popular. So popular standing out the most there. Again, it can be easy for people, especially before they know you or when they're first getting to know you, to put you on kind of a pedestal. You are a lot more popular than you realize, like significantly more popular than you realize or than you give yourself credit for. And we've got the griffin, majestic and royal, intimidating and powerful, brave and forthright. So what stands out the most there actually is intimidating and powerful. I get that you don't realize just how intimidating your energy is. There are definitely people who would do a lot for your attention. Like, you may have found that, especially when you're first getting to know people, people might kind of do or say, like, out of left ballpark things, it's because you make people really nervous. You like kind of put people on uneven footing, and they do kind of ridiculous things out of their nervous energy. And we've got fairy, ethereal and dreamlike, artistic and talented, gifted with words and performance. So artistic and talented, gifted with words and performance. Again, you're very talented at what you do. No one for the most part wants to compete with you when it comes to actually doing the things that you're good at. You are very, very talented at what you do. But also ethereal and dreamlike. Again, people put you on a bit of a pedestal. And it comes very naturally, I'm getting. It's not anything that you do. It's really easy for people to put you on a pedestal because you're very unique. That seems to be the thread throughout all the readings so far. You guys as a collective are incredibly unique, and it's easy for people to idealize that. We've got roosters, healthy masculine, protective, and caretaker. So protective and caretaker standing out the most there. Again, you're very caring for the people around you. You make people feel very loved. You make people feel very welcomed. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you from your physical appearance? You make people feel very welcomed, and they're surprised about that, I'm getting. That's also been a common theme through these. You guys are too attractive to be as nice as you are. All right, and we've got the centaur, highly intelligent and insightful, healing and mystical, hard to know, harder to bother. So healing and mystical actually popping out the most there. You have very healing energy. The people who get to know you, who get to be in your inner circle, they're very grateful for the chance. You encourage people by virtue of how you live your life. You live in a very, I'm getting forthright, that Griffin energy coming back again, forthright and brave. You live your life in a very encouraging and admirable way. And there are a lot of people who look up to you for it. And we've got the penguin, cute and playful, loving and loyal. Loyal popping out there again. You are very loyal to the people around you, and they are... If you've been feeling lonely lately, I'm getting that you should reach out to the people around you. There are a lot of people who love you and a lot of people who are very loyal to you, and I'm getting who are really missing you right now. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here again with me today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye. All right, last but certainly not least, we're on pile number 4 with the Two of Hearts. Now, the Two of Hearts is indicative of Two of Cups energy. We're looking at one of the true love cards. From the outside looking in, people assume that you are absolutely the perfect lover. And I am getting very much perfect lover, both physically and emotionally. If you have a partner, if you have something like a long-term significant partner or partners, know that there are people who are very jealous of that partner. The Two of Cups popping out right there. Like, yeah, if you're in a relationship, know that there are people who are very jealous of your partner. If you're not in a relationship, know that people, one, assume that you are in a relationship off the bat. And two, once they get to know you and find out you're not in a relationship, are shocked at that. The Two of Cups popped out again. That is the only card to come up for your pile so far. People see you guys from the outside looking in as the ideal lovers, and I have to pick the word lovers very specifically. There's this sense here that you might have dealt with partners in the past who, one, might have been a bit possessive, or two might have been a bit desperate to cuff you down really seriously very quickly. People want your attention. They want your energy. People want to be the center of your entire world, I'm hearing. And I'm hearing that you can make people feel like they're the center of the entire world. And people don't want to share that. People have no desire to share that. Alright. You're very physically attractive. That's another, like, common thread throughout these readings. You're all physically attractive. It's awesome. I have a hot collective. You're very physically attractive. And I'm getting that, like, you're very uniquely physically attractive. You attract people who typically would say they aren't attracted to, like, your type. Like, you're not typically their type of person. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. You attract people from all across the board. People are very much drawn to you. I'm getting strong Cancer energy here. There's a lot of not necessarily nurturing energy, but supportive energy, I think, is the better way to say it. Again, you come through as the ideal lover. People see you as someone who would be like the perfect support system. Which is a view from the outside looking in. So again, you're very supportive of the people in your life, like especially if you have like a romantic partner of any kind. Like, you are very supportive of them. People are really impressed actually by how supportive and loving you are. Especially if your partner has any kind of health problems or anything like that, or they need any like extra support. Like, people are really impressed by how loving you are and how far you'll go for the person that you love. Very non-judgmental. You might have noticed that people overshare with you. There's, especially people who you're just getting to know, there's something very yeah, we've got the Judgment card, the Six of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords popping out right there. There's something very, you make people feel like it's okay to open up. Like, you make people feel like it's safe for them to be vulnerable with you. The Judgment card calling people back from the dead. Like, there's something very, and this is a literal angel. Like, there's something very healing about your energy in a very specific way. Like, again, people feel like they can be vulnerable with you. They feel like you won't judge them. They feel like you'll actually give them like advice that they can use, and you won't see them differently for the things that you tell them. You'll be very charitable to them. The Six of Pentacles is the card of charity at its core. You'll be charitable and fair in how you judge them and how you move forward with them. The Ten of Swords, you let people leave their past in the past. You know what I mean? This is very much the energy of someone who believes in second chances and believes that people can change. You're willing to give people a second chance moving forward. It's incredibly lovely energy. Alright. What more can we know, please? What more can we know? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? People assume that you're into fairy tales or like romances. People assume that you're romantic is what it is. At your core, people assume that you are romantic, especially if you are an artist or a creative of any kind. People assume based off of your work and based off of your style in general, I'm getting that you are a very, very romantic person. I'm getting wooing. People think that you're someone who needs to be wooed. It's cute. There are people right now who want your attention. I'm getting like almost childish energies. Like for some of you, this might actually be like literal children in your life who have like small crushes on you because they're little kids, right? But for others of you, these are people who like they just feel very immature next to you. They feel like you're a much more established, much more experienced person, and they are extremely attracted to that. Yeah, jealousy for your partner keeps coming up though. If you have a romantic partner, trust there are people who are extremely jealous of them. The Six of Wands popping out right there. The Six of Wands is the card of victory. If your person is the person on the back of this horse, then that horse side-eyeing them is the people around you who are incredibly jealous of the fact that this person has nabbed you. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? There are some of you who have been assumed to be models before. It's a very specific message, but again, it comes through with the fact that you guys are extremely physically attractive. Like, there are definitely some of you who people have assumed were models before. Like, to the point where, like, when you're out in public, there are people who, like, will try to find you on social media or will maybe, like, ask around a little bit within groups of friends because they assume that you have some kind of social media presence or that you have some kind of, like, some kind of presence that they can follow online, in person, you know what I mean? Like, people assume that you are somebody. And people assume that you're a very good kisser. It's a very random, specific message, but people assume that you guys are incredibly good kissers. You have very nice mouths. Like, very nice smiles and, like, just in general, very nice mouths. And nice hands, too. You're very graceful. I'm getting strong Libra vibes. Very graceful in your appearance. All right. What more can we know, please? People assume that you're very smart. Especially if you're someone who... I'm getting, like, dark academia vibes, almost. Like, if you're someone who is regularly carrying a book or involved with discussions of, like, literature or anything like that. Just in general intellectual discussions and debates. People have a lot of respect for your intelligence. People assume from the outside looking in that you are a very intelligent person. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your physical appearance? All right, and we've got the Sun card. You're very bright. You brighten up people's day. And so the Sun card is also the card of, like, childhood exuberance, right? With the little baby there, completely, like, buck naked even in the sunshine. There's childhood exuberance that goes along with that card. So one, people assume that you are a lot younger than you actually are. If you have been feeling like you are looking a little bit older or you've been feeling a little bit more tired, you look great. You look younger than you actually are. Secondly, however, from the outside looking in, I'm getting that it can be really easy for people to assume that you have had a very easy time in life. Like, and it's interesting because I feel like this message comes up a lot in these readings just in general. It's that you guys have healed a lot. Like, you've done a lot of internal work and you've come out on the other side of it a much more healed, calm person. You know what I mean? So from the outside looking in, based on how you hold yourself, it can be really easy for people to assume that you have never experienced hardships in your life. Your life has been all sunshine and rainbows. just because you are still such a trusting, profoundly sunshiny spirit. You know what I mean? And it comes, I think, with the sort of fairy tale romance, romantic vibe that people kind of attach to you immediately. There's a certain level of naivete that is attached to romantics, right? So it can be very easy for people to assume that your healed energy is actually just naivete from never having to heal in the first place. That is just how well you've healed. It is actually a very big compliment, regardless of the fact that it can be extremely frustrating, and I get that. And we've got the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, you're a hard worker. And it's funny, we go from the Sun card with that childhood energy and that childish energy straight into the Three of Pentacles with that very grown, admirable energy. You know what I mean? When people get to know you, as they get to know you, they are shocked with what they uncover. You are a very complicated person. And I'm getting that you're also a very humble person. You might purposefully downplay your own talents or your own skills. Like, this is very much the energy of someone who doesn't need validation and doesn't need a whole lot of attention for what you do. And so you might be someone who, like, purposefully downplays your skills or purposefully, like, downplays your intelligence even, so you don't stand out quite as much. So when people start to get to know you, they are shocked by, like, all of the different colors and levels to you under the surface. Definitely getting that you're picky about the people who you'll let close to you. Like, you value your peace over winning over random people. You know what I mean? Or performing for random people to make them feel a certain way about you. And we've got the Devil card. There's been a moment like this in all of the piles, I think. Just as a forewarning, this is like more of an adult-themed thing, but the Devil card with the chains here, I'm getting like literal chains and whips. People assume that you are kind of a freak in bed. I think it came up earlier with that ideal lover energy, that people assume that you are good in bed, skilled in bed. But specifically with the Devil energy, what's coming through here is strong, like, kink energy. Like, people think that you're kind of a freak. Like, from the outside looking in, people kind of assume that you're a little bit of a freak. And it makes people very curious. People want to know whether or not this is the truth of things. Just so we're clear. The Devil card is even coming out at the center of your 5-card spread. Chains and whips excite me. There are definitely people who are curious, to say the least, about what your personal tastes in that area of your life are like. The Devil card is also a card of obsession. Passion to the point of obsession, right? On its best days, the Devil card is about unbridled passion. You are an incredibly passionate person, and the love and passion in the things that you do comes out in how you, I'm getting specifically how you treat other people. You have a really big heart, and you treat people like you love them. Like, you have an open heart and you treat people kindly regardless of who they are. Again, very non-judgmental energy here. Oh, there are a lot of people who are very, 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 very sexually interested in you. Oh. And we've got the King of Pentacles with that Taurus energy coming out. There's a lot of earth energy here right now. The Devil is Capricorn. The King of Pentacles is Taurus energy. We're also looking at Virgo energy with the trifecta of the earth signs, right? There's a lot of sensuality that comes through here, like physical sensuality. I'm getting like massage therapist. Like, people assume from the outside looking in that you have a very healing touch. And I'm getting like specifically touch. Like there are people who there are people who would do a lot or pay a lot to have you put your hands on them for a little bit. Aw, your pile was the most adult of all the readings. I'm sorry. And we've got the Justice card. The Justice card with that Libra energy. You're very graceful. And I was getting ballerina energy earlier too. I thought ballet core for some reason earlier. Like, you're very graceful in the way that you move through life. And I'm getting like a dance or a duet. You're very supportive and you lift people up easily. It comes very naturally for you. I'm getting to like lift people up. You are an impossible person to miss. Highly unique. You are a very impossible person to miss. Oozing sensuality. Like, so when you take someone's hand and pull them up with you, it means something. You know what I mean? Like, there are definitely people who have felt more seen because you have taken their hand and pulled them into the spotlight with you. You're very supportive. This is incredibly supportive energy. You don't bear any ill will towards your peers who are doing well. You don't you don't hold any grudges against people who have succeeded. Like, when you support people, you genuinely, with your full heart, support people. You have so much love to give. There's so much love in this pile, and it comes through very heavily in how you live your life. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles, the Independent Woman card. Regardless of how you identify, you come off very much as a strongly feminine yin energy. Like, not necessarily strongly feminine yin energy. You're very internally healed. Like, you come off as someone who has done a lot of like shadow work, even, like, if that's what you want to call it. Like, you come off as someone who has done a lot of work on yourself and come out on the other side a much stronger, more balanced person because of it. Like, I'm even seeing like the scales in this Justice card. Like, you're very well balanced mentally, spiritually. If you've been feeling tired lately, or if you've been feeling worn out lately, know that you're doing a really good job. It can be hard to try to be fair all the time, especially when emotions are involved. And you have a lot of love to give. So I'm getting that, like, it can be easy to get caught up in your emotions sometimes. And despite that, you are still always very fair in your judgments of people, and you're still very fair in how you behave and how you act. All right. What more can we know, please? What more can we know about what people assume about you based on your appearance? What do people assume about you based on your appearance? All right, we've got the Beaver, dedicated, hard worker, team player. Team player standing out the most there. Again, you lift people up. You are not one to hog the spotlight, despite the fact that I'm getting that you very easily could. Like, you draw attention very easily and very naturally. There are people who want your attention. People crave your attention. You know what I mean? And yet you lift other people up with you. It's not just about you. It's not just about you getting what you want. It's about everyone around you being lifted up as a whole. You have very lofty goals, I'm getting. It's part of why, from the outside looking in, it can be easy for people to assume that you're a little bit naive. It's not naivete. It's a willingness to work. It's a willingness and a dedication to get what you want and to put in the effort to make the world that you want to see happen. You know what I mean? And as people get to know you, they realize that. Like your line starts with the Sun card and that childhood exuberance, and it ends with the Justice card and that highest power of the court energy. You know what I mean? You are so much more than meets the eye. And people who get to know you are profoundly grateful for the experience. And we've got Fairy. Ethereal and dreamlike, artistic and talented, gifted with words and performance. So gifted with words and performance stands out the most there. You are very talented at what you do. You're very good at what you do. But even more so than being good at what you do, you're very good at supporting the people around you, and you know exactly what to say and how to support them in their pursuits. You might need to be reminded, in fact, from time to time again, that it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to focus on yourself. You are allowed to have dreams too, and you're allowed to go for the things that you want to. You don't always have to be supporting the people around you. And we've got Elephant, intelligent, intuitive, and nurturing. So intelligent and intuitive, definitely, but what stands out the most there is nurturing. Again, you are a highly nurturing person, and you have so much love to give to the people around you. So much love, in fact, that this is a visible thing through how you act and how you treat the people around you. From the outside looking in, strangers, people who don't know you, they can tell that you have all of this love to give, and that you give it without reserve to the people who you care about. It makes people want to get to know you. It makes people jealous of the people who you heap all this love onto. All right, loves, that is what I've got for you. Thank you so much for being here again with me today. I hope it was fun. I hope it was enlightening. I will see you next time. Bye.